How's it going, everybody? I am Donut. This is, of course, a Black Lives Matter, all cops are bastards, and trans rights supporting channel. If you're not supporting that shit, get the fuck off this channel. I am here with...
Thermite, his fiance.
This is WandaVision, Season 1, Episode 2, Don't Touch That Dial. Last episode, we didn't read the episode title. The last episode was... filmed in front of a live studio audience, I believe is what it was called.
Yes, it was.
Filmed before a live studio audience. So yeah, all of them are just going to be classic commercial catchphrases, I'm assuming.
Yeah. And we didn't really talk about it, but there was a laugh track in the previous episode. It was filmed for a live studio audience, and that also does tie into the twist at the end of someone is watching her.
Was it filmed in front of a live studio? You said that like it literally was, but do you mean like in the context of the show, it was as if it was filmed in front of a live studio audience, or do you know that they filmed that in front of a real live studio audience?
That's what you mean. No, I don't know that. I just meant
I highly doubt that would be the case, but...
No, I just meant that there was a laugh track, and also, the reveal is that, it is literally being filmed, and there is someone who is watching Wanda and Vision doing the show.
I didn't think about that, but yeah, you're right. That is the literal twist, actually, so yeah, you're right. When you think of that, you think of canned laughter, not somebody who is, I don't know, watching you on a monitor and you're in a coma or something. But yeah, I'm not sure, now don't touch that dial, what could that be? I mean, it's not now, just don't touch that dial.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that could, again, be something very, very specific as well.
Yeah, it doesn't...
Let's find out.
Yeah, it doesn't bring any, things to mind immediately.
If you want to see the full length, you can check it on the Patreon below for $4 a month. If you want to get early access to a couple episodes ahead, you can also get that on the Patreon. Go check that out. Let's jump into this episode. Okay, so we are here for the discussion of Episode 2 of WandaVision. Don't touch that dial. Now, there's... let's talk about, the first thing I want to go into is... So the organization that is doing this all to her definitely seems like we're going for they are sword, I'm guessing, based off of their... logo and everything like that, which, anytime you have any organization that is called SHIELD or you have an organization that is called SWORD, you gotta have the opposites.
You just gotta.
Yeah, I've seen it more often with you see SWORD and then you see a different organization called SHIELD. I think that's probably because Marvel has done, more prominently the SHIELD first and then they do SWORD something later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could definitely... I'm assuming that's what it is. We're doing a sort of it's not SHIELD, it's SWORD. It is a more offensive kind of SHIELD, is my guess.
That makes sense.
I'm assuming... Do you know how much about this? Do you know about the comics and stuff?
I know a fair bit about SWORD in the comics.
Okay.
Yeah, but the MCU does a lot of things very differently, so I'm trying not to, bring any presumptions to this one.
Yeah. Again, if you ever want to have any discussion about the comic stuff, please absolutely do. These are your discussions too, and I can take out my headphones, and then you can have your whole talk there.
Okay. But yeah.
So we might do that at the end of this if you want to, do that at the end.
Maybe. But yeah, for right now, we'll go through all the, other stuff.
Right. But yeah, so I'm guessing we're going to be introducing another group here, and in the same way. I'm not sure how relevant they're going to be in terms of overall sort of thing, or this is going to get wrapped up in WandaVision, or if SWORD will carry over into the movies, or if it will carry over into another show or something. You know? I'm not sure, but I'm guessing it's going to get wrapped up in this.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think they might carry it on, because right now we don't really have a organization in the MCU. There's a bunch of, different government branches, and, damage control is the one thing I can think of that feels very, this is just a thing, from the comics that is now here. But it's been a lot of just, scattering stuff amongst a bunch of other organizations. They've done a good job of just being SHIELD is gone, no more shields. And so... Yeah,
I mean, this could be a lot of runoff people that were in SHIELD.
Yeah, the name if it is in fact Sword, then it is very much a, like, yeah, this has to be either a response or some people from, before, or it could be the, we're not S.H.I.E.L.D., we are Sword, we're going to do it very differently.
But it seems like what they're doing is very much the exact same sort of thing S.H.I.E.L.D. did, which is kidnap powered people, put them through, like, some sort of torture scenario, and try and make their power stronger.
Is this not just what they wanted to do with Captain America? But then he heard the radio thing and was like, wait a minute, this seems messed up.
Yeah, this is basically exactly what they wanted to do with Cap, except not for a time thing, just for a, well, we need to deal with, like, I don't know, this is very interesting of, like, why, like, whoever's doing this clearly has some sort of personal thing with Wanda.
Yeah, it's so focused on her specifically. Though.
Yeah, like, the world, I guess, does have this big, like, oh no, we don't trust Wanda because of that one explosion. But, like, still, I can't buy this would just be, like, we think that the most dangerous Avenger is Wanda.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do this to Wanda before you do this to, like, Doctor Strange?
And, I mean, the other thing that, the thing that sticks out to me is that we theorized that color, while things were black and white, color meant this is not supposed to be here. And so if Sword was the one doing all of this, why would one of their little chopper things be in color?
Yeah. Like, the color thing has to be in her own sort of mind. I mean, obviously they can see it too, I'm guessing. But it's who knows how this whole shit works, like, technically. Mechanically, who knows?
Yeah.
But, yeah, it does seem like, also, how did it get in there? Again, is it just a glitch in the system? Like, that it just appeared there?
Yeah, because I would also presume that, like, the thumping outside was, like, it was that helicopter coming into this world. And then, like, the tree was a way to cover that up. Because we get the same thumping again for the, bee person.
Yeah, like, the thumping is definitely, I mean, it wasn't thumping for the bee person, it was, whatever you want to call it. Like, it was like a crash kind of noise, right?
Yeah.
But still, whatever the noises were, it doesn't seem like it could be coming from the things that it was saying it was.
Yeah, like, that seemed very much like a cover-up.
Yeah. Now,
which, to be fair,
person...
I do want to actually say, I just realized, like, it has to be a cover-up, because that is the subtext of the magic show. That, like, Wanda can just cover stuff up. Like, a real thing happens, and then she can just, come up with a fake excuse for it.
Yeah. But then do you think she rewound time, or do you think that was the person?
I think it was her, because she said no. Like, I feel like... Yeah, like, it makes a lot of sense to me if it was her going like, oh, this can't be covered up. Like, I reject this, and there's no way to write this off.
Yeah. So the only way to write it off is to just completely rewind time. But then it didn't happen. Like, she didn't rewind time, she just rewrote reality there.
Yeah.
And, like, how does that work with, like last episode with the eggs and everything like that? Like, she rewound time on the eggs, or she, like, went forward in time with it, then she went back in time with it, but was she just making separate realities entirely?
I would guess it's just reality stuff.
I guess so. Because, like, yeah, it was wild that we, have this, like, well, Doctor Strange can't do time stuff, and then immediately WandaVision. I mean, in this, fake reality thing, but still, if she's just like, yeah, I could just do time shit, and I'm just gonna do it.
But yeah, that actually makes, like, specifically, I didn't think about it until you said it, but the fact that the thumping doesn't happen after things, quote-unquote, get rewound, makes me think that, yeah, it had to be that she just rewrote reality, and it was, like, like, in the context of this being a sitcom, it was a rewind.
Then what the fuck was the bee man? And, like, why was this bee person, coming out there to begin with? Was that a part of Sword, or was that something else entirely?
Yeah.
And, like, the only, like, I know of the, like, I've heard the name Swarm plenty of times, as I think, like, a Spider-Man villain primarily.
Yeah.
But I've heard that a bit. I don't know what they look like or anything like that. The only other thing is, like, I don't think this is like this at all, but, the AIM soldiers being referred to as, like, the beekeeper suits.
Oh, yeah.
But again, I don't think we're doing that either. So the only thing I think of is maybe Swarm, but that's just like a name I've heard. I don't know what that's like at all in the comics. I'm sure you know more about that.
Yeah, I was also going to guess Swarm, but then there's the question of, like, why?
Yeah, what's happening? Coming out of a manhole with just, like, in a bee suit covered in bees through a manhole cover. Like, I can't even... I mean, this is how you would do a character that's that ridiculous, if that's what this is.
Yeah.
Like, how do you do that character seriously in the MCU? Where they're just covered in bees all the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know what their goal could have possibly been. Like, why? Like, if Wanda said no and rewrote reality and everything like that, was that Storm coming in there to try and do something? And why would they send a man who's covered in bees?
Why is man covered in bees the optimal agent for the scenario?
Yeah, like, why was he the go-to?
Yeah, I really appreciate how much of this is not really adding up, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, like, yeah, that's the whole point. Like, just question everything.
I mean, we did get... I can't believe we got the answer of For the Children.
Yeah, like, I thought that was just, they're parodying the whole, like, wives clubs, mothers for, blah, 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 sort of things. Like, I thought they were just parodying that. And, I mean, that's certainly what it was as well.
Yeah.
But, yeah, all disguised for and now she's pregnant. And, damn, what the hell is that going to be like in this show?
Yeah.
Like, are we sticking with that? Is that going to... continue? Is she just gonna have the baby next episode? Like,
it's possible.
If she got pregnant and mid-pregnant that fast, then it could easily just be a next episode baby.
And then, like,
so,
what is this child? Is this going to literally be Vision's kid?
Yeah, like, and she wouldn't have this outside of this reality, so that's gonna be fucking nuts to deal with.
Oh boy. Because, yeah, like, so much of this reality has been built around, like, this is all good, the danger in this reality isn't that dangerous. It's, it's clearly what she wants. And if she's got a kid here, that's going to be the big, like, I don't know if I would want to leave this reality. If it's like, well, my spouse is here, and we have a kid, and we have this life.
It's going to be pretty damn scarring if that happens.
Yeah, seriously.
But once again, first of all, it's just a very, very fun episode for the majority of it. Just getting to see the more of the wacky misunderstandings, or just like they're doing a really good job with, like, let's do plots that definitely involve them having their superpowers and stuff like that. But I don't know how to put it. Like, it is just they're really riding that line between, like, we're doing stuff that is just, we're doing the thing from an old 50s or 60s thing, but we're also going to make it funny. And half the time it's going to be funny in a, like, okay, that was a good joke, and then half the time it's going to be funny in a, this is such a bad joke that I can't help but laugh.
Yeah. Like, there are tons of things that have done the, the pastiche of, like, we're going to do I Love Lucy, or we're going to do a superhero thing, but with a, in the charmed aesthetic. And if they don't care for that aesthetic, then it always turns out really bad, because then it's like, well, yeah, this sucks. I guess that was the lesson you're trying to teach, is that this sucks. But they have been absolutely nailing every facet of the, like, 50s, 60s rom-com energy. Like, every little part of it, including, like, jokes that, like both jokes that I've definitely seen in this kind of show a lot, and jokes that are very fresh and very new, where it's like, I can't believe this, I can't remember this being done before.
Yeah, and there's plenty of jokes that are very clearly, like, reference, like, there's a lot of, like, meta humor as well, or just, like, jokes that would have absolutely not flown at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, that's what really keeps it extremely fresh as well. Is, like, we are very on the nose with the time period and everything, and we're having jokes at the expense of the time period without it being, like, just a straight up, like, we're just being, like, a parody or whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Speaking of, like, I mean, the MCU has already had a show that has taken place in the 50s with Agent Carter. Very interesting. The Agent Carter has a character named Dottie as well. as a villain who is a part of like a group called Leviathan, which is very clearly like Hydra.
Right.
You know, it was sort of like Hydra after Hydra had gotten defeated, quote unquote. But that really makes me think, like, you know, Dottie feels like she is just a part of this, you know, simulation entirely. I'm not getting any like she's actually working with S.H.I.E.L.D. in some way, or like a plant or whatever. Not getting that at all.
Same.
It is also interesting in Agent Carter. Agent Carter's like friend character is Angie. Just not that, like, you know, it's different than Agnes, but it's still, they both have a very similar kind of personality, and it's really like making me go like, I don't think there's anything going on there, but I think it's very interesting that we both have the villain character named Dottie, and then a character who, Agni, very close there, who is the best friend, who is very, very upbeat and jokes a mile a minute and stuff like that. And yeah, it's very surprising to me that like we're doing that exact thing again.
Yeah.
And like I wonder if that is also intentional, like for people who have watched Agent Carter, where it's like, yeah, this, like, even if you've never seen a show from the 50s, if you've seen Agent Carter now, you know what this is like. And now we're gonna parody that. Like they've set up in their own universe, like, this is what a 50s show is like, and then now we're gonna parody that here. That's incredible to be able to do.
Yeah.
Truly astounding. But yeah, I don't think there's anything going on with Dottie, but it is interesting to me that there was a Dottie in one of the previous 50s shows that was a member essentially of Hydra, and now we have a group that is like S.H.I.E.L.D., Hydra, you know, all that.
Yeah.
Curious.
I could definitely see something happening there. Like, if there's a series that I could see them acknowledging, it would also be Agent Carter. I do know, like, Agent Carter's one of the only, like, pre-Marvel Studios, like, TV shows on Disney+.
It's also one of the only ones that has been certifiably canonicized by the movies, like with Jarvis's actor being also Jarvis in the movies. So, you know, I don't know what's going on with that, but, you know, there might be something there.
Yeah, I'm willing.
Who knows what it could be?
I'm willing to buy it. I'm willing to look into it. Keep it in mind.
Again, even though I think Dottie is definitely a part of the simulation or that, Agnes is, there's no way her whole character is like, I am the person who does the jokes that shouldn't work for a 50s show. You know? She is as out of place as Wanda and Vision are. And where's her fucking husband? You know? We keep hearing about that, but he wasn't there during the, like, thing. Is it just a full lie?
Yeah.
Like she's going so ham with the, you know, 50s jokes as well, of the just like, ah ha ha, and I hate my husband, you should make my husband disappear. Like, she's going so heavy with those very, very stereotypical jokes that I think she's trying too hard to blend in.
I was losing my mind at the line of just, what, who should be in there? My husband, Ralph!
It's so on the nose.
Yeah. And that is also, like, a very common, trope of this genre. There's a character that we just never, ever see.
Yeah, it's very much so a trope, so they could still be going with that. But I'm holding, my suspicions are that Agnes is not a part of the simulation, and is trying very hard to pretend that she's a part of the simulation, because the simulation doesn't know that she's not a part of the simulation. But it clearly does for Wanda and Vision.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
That's my guess. Like, I think she's going to be our like, biggest ally here.
I feel like she could either be big ally or big enemy, depending. But, like, she is definitely the most important character that is not Wanda or Vision.
Yeah. It could definitely be big villain as well, because, but I don't know about big villain, or more just, like, chaotic neutral.
Maybe. Because, like, the real interesting twist of this is that, like, the most villainous thing to do in my mind right now is to maintain the status quo and keep everyone happy. Like, to, keep them in the simulation, which would make her a good person in the simulation. Whereas, like, like, anyone who's, like, antagonizing Wanda here would, like, I wouldn't think of that as being villainous here, because that is a, like, oh, you're making her not want to be here. Or you're making her question it.
Mm-hmm. That is a good point, but that is also just the 50s.
It is also just the 50s.
Being hated is just the 50s. But yeah, Agnes has done some things that have both helped and have hindered her as well.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, I don't know. Like, during the whole dinner thing, she was doing it in a way that was definitely helping, but that she was also doing it in a way that was making it very obvious that the dinner wasn't prepared yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to take that.
Oh, agreed. Oh boy.
Like, I think she is trying to help her get like more assimilated with the simulation, while also trying to do small things that are cluing her into this being a simulation.
Okay, that would make sense.
But also, what purpose would she have to be doing any of this? Like, does she have a personal connection to Wanda? Or is she a rival organization? Or did the Avengers say, hey, we need you to go to the simulation because you're the only one who can do it? Or, I don't know. There's many scenarios in which it could be. There's no shortage of things I can guess. Versus other things, it's just like, why is the beekeeper here? I don't fucking know. I've got no guesses. But Agnes I've got a lot of guesses for, but nothing that's strong in one direction. I can't get over how fucking creepy and weird that beekeeper thing was. That was so creepy.
God, they nailed the scene.
Oh, I can't wait. I really want to start the next episode.
Yeah.
Do you think what does the helicopter have any relevance to Wanda or Vision?
The only thing,
it's got Vision's colors.
Yeah, it's also kind of Iron Man's colors, like the red and the yellow. Like we did a Stark thing in the commercial last episode.
That's true, but Iron Man doesn't have a whole lot of silver. I don't think. I think that's more the Vision thing is, silver and red with yellow highlights.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I think it's more a Vision thing. The number 57, does that mean anything? I can't think of what a helicopter would symbolize for her.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it could just straight up be that it is the sword, like the literal sword helicopter or something like that. But
yeah, because it could be a drone, or it could be like an actual full-sized helicopter that, like, when it came into this simulation, it got shrunk down.
Yeah.
Or
man, I don't know how to even think about that. That is, I don't know.
Yeah.
And like, okay, any guesses for who's the person on the telephone? Like, do you think it's someone acting on their own? Do you think this is the event? Do you think the Avengers are helping in any way with this, or do you think they have no idea what's going on? I think that could,
I don't think the Avengers know anything about this. I don't think this is Avengers related at all.
Yeah, because I'm unclear if this is, do the Avengers know anything about it, and or do they know a lot about it, but they can't do anything about it, and the only way to help is with the people who can do something about it, which is whoever can get through on the radio, or, Agnes sending her in.
Yeah, because
But how the fuck does she get kidnapped and the Avengers don't know?
And whoever is, sending the message, what they are asking is not, how can I help, or you need to snap out of this. It is just, who is doing this to you?
Yeah. So, maybe she is, like, in a coma that they can plug into her and see what's going on as well.
Because, we know that there is objectively a way to access what is going on with her that takes the form of a sitcom. Like, electrical signals are coming out of wherever this is. And then this also proves that there's a way to, get back in.
Like, this might be some real magic shit, Like, it might just be another magic person that's trapped her in some magic weird fucking rule shit.
Yeah, we've had so little magic in the MCU, and we still don't really know if Wanda is magic or not, or if it is just electrical impulses that make her do weird things, or whatever they said in Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
We know magic is out there, but we've never actually had anyone go, by the way, Wanda's magic.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Like, I feel that's everybody's impression of it, but yeah, they've never like said that outright. So maybe this is the season to start doing that. Because I mean, like, to be fair, they've been doing that in this season.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure if they said straight up that she's magic in this season, but they're making it very clear that they're trying to do magic.
Yeah, and like the aesthetic of the aesthetic is very much like I am a witch, or like I am a charmed-esque witch, not a
not a broomstick and I don't know what a broomstick and a cat witch.
Mm-hmm. And she's been like doing stuff we have never seen her do in the movies, like just making stuff or all that crazy stuff. We know she is unbelievably strong, so it's not that hard to think that this is something she could do outside of this.
Mm-hmm. And like what are the commercials? What's that? Are those happening?
Yeah, because this commercial had the same two people as the previous commercial.
Mm-hmm.
And
the Strucker watch, does 240 or 241 or 242 or whatever mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
Because that was also something I was trying to think of. Like, does the time on the watch mean anything? 240. Can't think of anything that would mean.
Yeah. And it is, like, the tagline is, Strucker, he'll make time for you.
Yeah. And, like, I don't know what that means specifically. Strucker, he'll make time for you. Like, I mean, it could just be, again, that, she was tortured by Strucker and stuff, and that, that could be what that line means. It could be that simple. But if it's literal, like, is her power not rewriting reality but rewinding time? Can she do that?
It might be.
I mean, we didn't get anything like that in this episode, but just maybe. I mean, yes, we did with the rewinding thing. But again, that can't be rewinding, or else it would have happened again.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. But it's just straight up a Hydra watch, also. So like, what does that mean? Is this a universe in which Hydra didn't exist?
Yeah.
Like, this isn't our reality. Like, she isn't in our 50s. In terms of R being the Marvel Cinematic Universe 50s.
Yeah. Like, that was ambiguously possible in the last episode, but in this one, definitely not.
Yeah, cannot be. And so, yeah. And there was nothing on the watch that was in color.
No.
So, yeah, the time feels like it's gotta be specific. But it could also just be placing the hands in a way so that you can see everything that's written on the watch as well.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to think, like, why would they not put it at 12:12? If you didn't want the time to be relevant. But it could just be because of the, text.
Yeah, you don't want to cover up anything.
So yeah, I'm not sure there's any other plot relevant stuff that I need to talk about, like that I can have any theories of, but. Man, just the whole plot with Vision and the gumming up his works was excellently done. I absolutely loved it. It's just so funny.
So perfect. I would never have guessed that we would be able to see a drunk Vision.
Yeah. Like, yeah, we're going so wild with the, like, characterization of Vision as well. Like, it's so, like, nothing like we've ever seen before.
Yeah. And I'm so curious as to, like, how did, like we know for a fact that things can happen that Wanda is not a part of, because, stuff's happening to Vision. But, like, was this a part of the plot? Like, did someone go, like, and then we will, like, script this out as Vision eats the gum and it gums up his work so we can do this funny, like, plot? Or did it just happen to happen like that?
I don't know. There's no, like, clue one way or another.
Yeah.
Also, in the opening, we have the shot of the moon, and then there is 6 stars that are all, like, top and bottom, and then 2 on the left, 2 on the right. In a very interesting pattern. Sort of like an atom, maybe, a little bit, but... like, if it had the connecting lines and everything, or the whatever the fuck those are. But it's an interesting design. I'm not sure if I'm just not remembering what this is.
Is it like the symbol on his forehead?
Let me check.
Wait, what am I thinking of? Because like
like he also has a thing on his tie. which is like his like symbol thing. It's like a dot, another dot, and then a rectangle.
Yeah.
I think of that more as being his like symbol, whereas this I can't think of when he's had that on him ever.
Yeah, because in the previous episode we had a lot of like hexagon shapes, like in the like transitions and stuff. But yeah, this isn't a hexagon.
No, I don't know what it would be.
The only thing that comes to mind is maybe like the arc reactor. Like if we're still doing a Stark thing.
Yeah, maybe. Because they are very Stark, focused.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it's interesting because the 6 stars like bling into existence, like they pop into existence, and then WandaVision come out.
Mm-hmm.
Wanda and Vision come out, which I guess we haven't talked about the name of the show at all. I guess we should mention that. Like before even going into this, the reason why I assumed this was going to be some sort of like pocket thingy, I keep saying pocket thing. I don't want to say like pocket dimension or pocket whatever.
Okay.
Because even like what I mean by a pocket show is like a show that is by itself,
Sure.
I know there's another term for that, but I can't think of it right now. Like it's self-contained or whatever. That's what I was guessing. And the reason I was guessing that was because I thought it was going to be, Wanda like having a vision, like going through something in her mind, like using her own powers on herself to come up with some imaginary scenario that she would rather have lived in than the reality she actually lives in.
Right.
But it's definitely not what the case is. But still, the show is WandaVision. It's both Wanda and Vision, but it's also Wanda's vision. In the same way that a horseshoes can be a horse and shoes, but together it is horse's shoes.
Okay.
I'm trying to use the metaphor from the episode.
But yeah.
But no, it is WandaVision. It can be both the characters, but it can also be the apostrophe S, Wanda's vision.
Yeah.
Like, I legitimately wonder if the horse's shoes thing was supposed to be that.
I can see it.
Because it works in the same way, where it's like the words can be two separate things by themselves, but there is an implied ownership of horseshoes are horse's shoes. WandaVision is Wanda's vision.
Yeah.
And both, as well as the vision that we're seeing, the character vision, is not the character vision. This is Wanda's vision as well.
Yeah, like objectively, if Vision is dead.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that as well. Also, like, this is not like his personality at all. Like, this is a very, very different Vision.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, yeah, I think maybe that is what that joke was supposed to be about.
Perhaps.
But, glad we didn't talk about the show's title until just now, then.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love this. I love this title. It's a perfect fucking title. It's, I love titles that can be literal and titles that can be, it can mean multiple things.
Yeah, because of course, the most literal meaning is also just, it's not television, it's WandaVision.
Yeah, that as well. I honestly didn't even think about that at all.
Like, that is...
Never crossed my mind.
Like, that is the only reading I had for it when I first, when the show was first announced. Because it immediately, the thing that hooked me on the concept was just oh, yeah, the MCU is doing a TV show for the first time, and it's going to be a TV show about it being a TV show. So it's WandaVision.
I truly never interpreted Vision as television, even though that makes so much sense too. But again, I love titles that have so many meanings to them.
Yeah.
Excellently done. Excellent. Yeah, any other... Also, Agnes having a pet bunny. That's extremely witchy.
Yeah.
It's extremely, extremely witchy.
Very familiar-y, very, traditional, having just, Yeah.
Also, I can't get over the fact that, Wanda was wearing red the entire episode, which then makes her clothes look like she's just wearing black the whole episode.
Yeah.
Like, a way darker black than what anybody else was wearing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is very, very excellently done.
Seriously. I mean, it's...
Nice reveal.
It's so hard to shoot a black and white series. So, just the fact that also everything is so very clear, it's so very easy to see. Oh,
yeah.
Love it. And I really, I should probably say this right now before we start episode 3. It pops out to me that when everything goes to color, it is still not, shot like an MCU movie or anything.
No.
Like, it has that fuzz to it. It has that, like, oversaturation on some colors.
Oh, yeah. It definitely still feels like it's, when television just got color.
Yeah. Like, in the background, you can see the, I forget what that's called, but, like, the weird blurriness around the edges of certain objects.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I'm not sure what it's called.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's oversaturated is probably the best way to put it.
Yeah, it excites me because I did fully assume this was going to be an all black and white show until maybe the end. Or, except for, like, the occasional change up.
Bits of color.
Yeah. But this is making me think that, no, it's going to be more of just like we're going through television.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're just going to go through and what do you think is after this? Like, next episode's going to be the all-in-color one.
Mm-hmm.
But where do you think we go? Like, I'm not that familiar with old television sort of decades or whatever, like, however, went in that regard. So, I'm not sure about the timeline of TV.
Yeah. Like, I think of it more as, like, settings. But, like, if these are all going to be, like, family-based sitcoms, then after this, we've got... Oh, boy. I'm not actually familiar with anything that was, like, in color right at the cusp of it. Like, I think of those as just being, like, also the same as black and white shows.
Yeah, because it's interesting because, like, last episode is way more of the, like, classic, sitcom-y scenario where it's like, they had powers from that, but it wasn't too much on that, and it was way more on they are a family or a partnership that is trying to have a dinner with their boss or have a dinner with, it's almost always the boss. Like, it's that one's classic. Then this one going into far more of, like, the charmed sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, leaning way, way, way more into the, like, supernatural aspect of it.
Yeah.
So.
It's not even your Sabrina. It's like your Lois and Clark. It is one of us has powers, but it's not a hero show. It is just a wacky, we have a thing and we have to hide it. Or, my friend's an alien.
Yeah, and last episode had that a bit as well. But, like, yeah, it's definitely, like, the difference of, like, this episode feels way more like Charmed, like Teenage Sabrina, Sabrina.
That's what it is. That's what it's called.
Last episode felt way more like that 70s show or King of Queens or, all those kind of shows. I mean, two very different kind of shows, but still very similar in, like, the plots.
Yeah.
So I do think we're going to change more on, like, the plots that we're doing rather than, like, in the going through the era of TV. And we probably will be, but, I'm not sure how much of that they can do.
Yeah. Like, it's so much of this hinges on the baby. Because, like, once you have the baby, you can do, like, a Malcolm in the Middle or, like, a Home Improvement or, like, anything where it's very much like we are parents and the show is about our wacky children.
And we're naming so much more recent shows. I mean, we're not that old. We have not seen shit from the 50s.
Yeah, like, the furthest I go back is, like, Sanford and Son, which they're definitely not going to do a WandaVision episode that is Sanford and Son.
I don't know what's the oldest fucking thing I've seen. I couldn't even begin to tell you. Like, Seinfeld, maybe.
Oh, no.
I mean, again, it's not that old.
Yeah.
Comparatively to how far we're going back in this show. But yeah, I've never seen I Love Lucy. I don't fucking know. And I mean, this certainly doesn't have the feeling of I Love Lucy from what I know.
I mean... It's a little bit. It's I'd say it's just more...
not enough beating. Not enough I want to beat my wife.
Fair.
But yeah, it's curious. Like, I think also when I think of these shows, I think way more of, like, the person being on, like, a factory line sort of thing. Like, so much like, oh no, something's going wrong on the factory line and now shenanigans are happening. I feel I've seen that, like, clips of that in black and white shows far more than I've seen, like, oh no, something's going wrong in The Office. But I do feel like The Office, again, it fits so much more for, like, what Wanda would be like. What sort of job would Vision have?
Yeah. Like, Wanda does not seem like she wants to do the show in which she is out and getting a job.
So I guess that's all we have for this episode. Hopefully we get to find out what the fuck was up with the bee person next episode.
Yeah, and I'm guessing next episode is going to be, like, in terms of genre, it is going to be the, oh, we're in this crazy situation, but oh no, I'm about to give birth! Oh, the baby's coming! And Vision has to run around and go like, oh no, I don't know how to do this! Oh no, am I gonna have to deliver the baby myself?
It could also be the classic, we need to, like, we can't let anybody find out that we have the baby, which would be very analogous to the, the actress gets pregnant and then they try and hide it as much as possible.
I could see that. Because, yeah, in episode 1, we brought up the fact that Wanda and Vision say they're married, but they don't have rings, and they presumably have no way to prove it. Like, they don't have any stuff.
They do have rings now.
Right, they do. So, yeah.
And she wears the ring now.
Yeah, so I guess it wouldn't be that wild to just tell everyone.
Yeah, but I could still see it being a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because, as you said, like, they can't say how long they've been together, they can't say how they got married or when they got married or anything like that, so... Yeah, I mainly just want to get the beekeeper person and I want to get more of Agnes. Those are my two main things.
Yeah, same.
Agnes is an absolute treasure. Now, Agnes also is wearing a ring. She is wearing a wedding ring. I mean, that doesn't exactly mean anything, but still. It's of note.
Adds some credence to her claim.
Okay, we'll see you guys for the next episode. Till then, get the fuck out of here.